Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. Cardano, just want to quickly update you first of all about my trade that I have still ongoing and generally about what ADA is doing here. So ADA came obviously from its all-time high around $3.10 all the way down here in this long channel. We talked about here that the correction could obviously be finished. My primary expectation was still that we could come down a little bit lower, and the risk is still there. The risk is still there. Remember that from that wave 3 to that wave 4, we also came down crashing. Yeah. So the risk is still there, but with Bitcoin breaking above that 45.8k level, the risk is getting lower and lower, and the low could really be in for ADA. ADA did obviously reach the target area already. Told you that at any point Cardano could start to go up, but nevertheless it so far never reached that 55 cent level, which would have been the next major support. But we always want to react to what the market is doing, so everything else is to a degree assumptions, of course. So we have to react to the market. What we did identify was that descending wedge here, which is a bullish pattern, and the target for that descending wedge certainly is, there are two targets basically. The first target is the beginning of the wedge, and you could argue maybe this here is the beginning at around 126, where you have that touch point at that previous high. Or you could also be a little bit cheeky here and extend it a little bit, and you could argue maybe is 150 is here the target, because there will be another touch point. But I rather think it probably is more like 125, 126, because this would also add together with the target of this triangle here. And you might remember that I told you that is exactly here when we broke out above 114 when I opened my long trade. And what we also have on the same page here is this symmetrical triangle. So we had this inverse head and shoulders. That is what I based my trade on. And that neckline here of 114, which then broke, retesting. We lost it briefly, but we still moved up higher then because we had that symmetrical triangle form. So we moved up from this one. And what is the target from that symmetrical triangle? So what we do is we take the height of that triangle, add it here to the breakout point, and what can we see? We can, oh no, and I need to extend that a little bit. And if we then, I think it is actually this one here we need to get. So if we add it to the breakout point, that would take us here to that 126 level. That's in my view that confluence adding to the target level of that descending wedge. You have the same target for that triangle, and you have here a very important resistance level, because this is the 50% Fibonacci retracement level at 126. That is personally when I would take profits, probably 50% out. I'll leave 50% in there, yeah, for higher prices. That's just how I plan to do it. Of course, you can take 100%. That's up to you if you want to do the same thing. For me, this is only a short-term trading position. Someone asked the question, what do you do if you then take profits? What do you do with that money? Well, you could just look for the next entry, or you just leave it in there. You could leave it in there, but then it's not a short-term trading position, then it's more like a longer-term swing trade position. For me, what I want to do is really then take profits there. We haven't reached it quite yet, so I'm still waiting for that for the price to go higher. The reason for that is as well what we're currently doing here, in my opinion, struggling here with that resistance here at the moment. Yeah, so we've got a bit of resistance here around 121. Currently below that, and if we get above that, then we can reach that 126 level. So really this previous resistance level here, that ADA is currently struggling with that a little bit. We have also here a little bit of a red candle, went down, but it was bought up very quickly at 117, which is not a bad sign. On the 1 hour, let's take a look at where we are. I mean, it is a huge red candle, we need to admit that. It was bought up quickly, yes, but we also made a lower high here, so maybe we're in for a little bit of a retracement down. I mean, we already did retrace down to 117, but what we might be doing here at the moment is just to retest that previous high here at 117, yeah, because it was bought up very quickly. So from my point of view, I would rather expect further rising prices for ADA and to reach that target level. And what can we see on the 4-hour chart? We can see that currently in line with that drop, the momentum is decreasing a little bit. So what I hope will happen is that we might have a bit of a retracement or sideways movement, maybe form here another small bull flag or something before we then can come up again. 8-hour chart also here losing momentum. What the price did prevent with that pump yesterday was a bearish crossover on the 8-hour chart. So at the moment we're still in bullish momentum, but we're pretty much borderline here. So that doesn't look too good for ADA. Yeah. On the daily, still pushing higher here with that momentum. I mean, what I told you yesterday is that we are here due at some point a retracement, because you were just overbought on the daily. You're just overbought on the daily. So there might be a retracement, but I hope we reach that target first at 126. The thing is, 126 is the target, or 126.3 here. What you normally do, or what professional traders do as well, typically take the profits just before that target, yeah. So you don't wait until you reach the 126.4 in this case, yeah. But I haven't taken profits yet. Could have done that obviously here at 124.7, but I hoped we get a little bit higher, maybe all the way up to 125.5 or something. That is probably when I'm going to close my position here. I hope we're going to hold this now. It is quite a large red candle, yes, but hopefully Cardano just needs that to bring the indicators down a little bit. Even if we drop below my entry point at 114, I told you before, I have not set a stop loss in this case. I'm just not doing it. I see this only as a short-term position, yes, but stop losses, this stop loss would have kicked me out already here at 111 probably, when we lost that trend line, came down. So I'm glad I didn't use a stop loss. Yeah, I'm not doing it. So in the worst case, if we drop lower, I'm just going to hold through. But if you are using a leverage position, or if you really want to get out of the trade, if you get in a loss, then you should use a stop loss, absolutely. That is, of course, up to you. I'm not doing it. I don't really am a big friend. I'm not really a big friend of stop losses. But the higher we go in terms of price, yeah. So when we go higher, closer to the all-time high, then they got more important. At the moment, I don't see it that relevant, because we are generally still only very much in the beginning of that uptrend. But yeah, currently price struggling a little bit with that 119 level, and hopefully we go a little bit higher. Then I'm going to close that position, or close at least 50% of that position. So that's my view here currently on Cardano. Hopefully that video was useful. If you liked it, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.